The alarm screams at 4 a.m. Not once, not twice, every single morning. While the world sleeps, LeBron James is already awake, already moving, already grinding. This is the part you don't see on TV. This is the part they don't put on highlight reels. This is the real story of greatness. Picture this. It's December 2022. LeBron is 38 years old, an age when most NBA players are coaching, commentating, or chilling on a beach somewhere. But not him. He's in the gym at 5 a.m., drenched in sweat, pushing his body through another brutal workout. His trainer watches in disbelief. "Man, you're already the greatest. What are you trying to prove?" LeBron doesn't even look up. "Everything," he mutters between breaths. "I'm trying to prove everything." See, the world knows LeBron James the king, the champion, the icon. 4 NBA championships, 4 MVP awards, all-time leading scorer in NBA history. But nobody talks about the cost. Nobody talks about the discipline that borders on obsession. Nobody talks about the drive that refuses to let him rest, even when his body begs for mercy. This isn't just a basketball story. This is a story about what it really takes to be great. Not talented, not lucky, great. And brother, let me tell you, the truth is way more intense than you think. Before we dive deeper, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you're going to want to follow this journey all the way through. LeBron's morning routine isn't normal. It's not even close to normal. While you're hitting snooze, he's already done a full-body activation. While you're scrolling Instagram, he's in a cryotherapy chamber freezing at -200 degrees. While you're grabbing breakfast, he's calculating his nutrient intake down to the gram. Every single day. His personal chef once revealed that LeBron's diet is monitored so precisely that even his cheat meals are calculated. Nothing random, nothing spontaneous. Everything serves the mission. Teammates have described watching him eat, and it's like watching a machine refuel. Efficient, methodical, purposeful. But here's where it gets wild. LeBron spends over $1.5 million a year on his body. Hyperbaric chambers, personal trainers, biomechanics specialists, massage therapists on call 24/7. Some people buy cars. Some people buy houses. LeBron buys longevity. He buys performance. He buys every single percentage point of advantage he can squeeze out of the human body. And before you think, well, he's rich, of course he can do that. Remember this, he wasn't always rich. He wasn't always the king. There was a time when he was just a kid from Akron, Ohio, with nothing but a dream and a willingness to outwork everyone. The money came later. The discipline came first. His high school coach, Drew Joyce, tells a story that still gives him chills. LeBron would show up 2 hours before practice, every day. Not because I told him to, because he demanded it of himself. At 16 years old, he had the discipline of a 10-year veteran. That's not talent. That's not genetics. That's choice. That's drive. That's looking in the mirror and deciding that good enough will never be good enough. So drop a comment right now. Tell me, what time did you wake up this morning? Be honest. No judgment. Just curious. Because by the end of this story, I guarantee you'll look at that alarm clock differently. But the morning routine is just the beginning. The real test comes when nobody's watching. You want to know the difference between good and great? It's not what you do when the cameras are on. It's what you do when nobody's watching. And LeBron James? When nobody's watching, he becomes something else entirely. It's 2 a.m. in Miami, 2011. The Heat just lost Game 4 of the NBA Finals to the Dallas Mavericks. LeBron had one of the worst games of his career. The internet is destroying him. The media is calling him a choke artist. His legacy is crumbling in real time. So what does he do? He goes to the gym. Not the next morning. Right then. At 2 in the morning, with tears still fresh on his face, he's shooting jump shots in an empty gym. His security guard, who was there that night, said it was the most heartbreaking thing he'd ever seen. He just kept shooting, over and over, like he was trying to shoot away the pain. I wanted to tell him to stop, to go home, to rest. But I couldn't, because I realized I was watching greatness being forged. That's the thing about discipline that people don't understand. It's not glamorous. It's not Instagram-worthy. Real discipline is ugly. It's lonely. It's doing the work when every fiber of your being wants to quit. When your ego is shattered. When your body is broken. When the world thinks you're done. That's when discipline matters most. LeBron has a rule: never miss a workout. Sounds simple, right? But think about what that really means. Championships, losses, births, deaths, injuries, celebrations. Doesn't matter. The workout happens. His former teammate, Richard Jefferson, once said, "I've never seen LeBron skip the gym. Not once in 4 years. Family emergency? He'd work out before handling it. Awards ceremony? He'd work out after." The man is not human. But here's the secret nobody tells you about discipline. It's not about being perfect. It's about being relentless. LeBron has had bad games. Lots of them. He's blown fourth quarters. He's missed crucial shots. He's failed. But he's never, ever stopped showing up. That's the difference. Champions don't win because they never fall. They win because they never stay down. And before we go further, if you're getting value from this, smash that like button. It tells me you want more stories like this. More truth. More real talk about what greatness actually costs. Now let's talk about what happened when the pressure got so intense. Even LeBron questioned if he could handle it. June 2016. NBA Finals. Game 7. Golden State Warriors versus Cleveland Cavaliers. The pressure is suffocating. Cleveland hasn't won a championship in 52 years. LeBron promised his city a title. He guaranteed it. And now, with everything on the line, he's about to find out if his discipline can survive the biggest moment of his life. The locker room before the game was silent. Teammates described it as eerie. LeBron sat in the corner, eyes closed, controlling his breathing. One breath in for 4 seconds. Hold for 7. Out for 8. Over and over. This isn't natural talent. This is trained response. Years of meditation. Years of mental conditioning. Years of preparing for exactly this moment when the weight of an entire city rests on your shoulders. His sports psychologist later revealed that LeBron had been visualizing this exact scenario for months. Not hoping for it. Planning for it. He'd practiced the feeling of pressure so many times in his mind that when the real moment came, his body thought it had been there before. That's not luck. That's architecture. He literally built the mental infrastructure to handle what would break most people. The game was chaos. Warriors up, Cavs up, back and forth. With less than 2 minutes left, the score was tied. Then came the moment. The block. You know the one. Andre Iguodala on a fast break. Sure layup to give Golden State the lead. And then, out of nowhere, LeBron James, full sprint from the other end of the court, times it perfectly, and blocks the ball off the backboard. Announcers lose their minds. The block! The block! But here's what they didn't tell you. That block wasn't instinct. It was the result of 1,000 sprints he'd run when he was exhausted. It was the discipline of never taking a playoff, even in meaningless regular season games. It was the drive to chase down every loose ball in practice, like it was Game 7 of the finals. Because when you practice like every moment matters, when the moment actually matters, your body already knows what to do. Kyrie Irving hits the 3. Cavaliers up 3. Under a minute left. LeBron gets the ball, gets fouled, goes to the free throw line. His heart rate is probably 180. The noise is deafening. Everything he's ever worked for comes down to these free throws. And he drains them. Both of them. Pure. Smooth. Like it's a Tuesday morning practice. Why? Because he's shot 10,000 free throws under pressure simulation. He's trained his body to perform when his mind is chaos. Cavs win. Cleveland gets their championship. LeBron falls to the floor crying. But listen to what he said in that moment. Through tears, microphone in his face, he said, "I'm coming home." Not "I did it." Not "I'm the best." He said, "I'm coming home." Because for LeBron, this was never about ego. It was about promise. It was about drive that went deeper than basketball. It was about the discipline to keep a commitment even when the entire world doubted him. Comment below. What's a promise you made to yourself that you're still working to keep? Let's build a community of people who understand what real commitment looks like. The championship should have been the end of the story. But for LeBron, it was just another chapter. Because Dynasty isn't built on one ring. It's built on what you do after you've already proven yourself. August 2016. 1 month after winning the championship, LeBron James could be anywhere. Beaches, parties, vacation. He's earned it, right? Wrong. He's back in the gym. Because champions celebrate. Dynasty builders prepare. His trainer posts a video. LeBron, drenched in sweat, doing the same conditioning drills he did when he was chasing his first ring. The caption reads, "The work doesn't stop." And the internet goes crazy. People commenting, "Man, take a break." But they don't understand. Dynasty isn't about taking breaks. It's about understanding that your competition is training right now. While you're resting, they're getting better. And LeBron refuses to let anyone outwork him. Michael Jordan once said something that changed LeBron's entire perspective. In an interview, Jordan mentioned that he never let himself feel satisfied. The moment you're satisfied, you're done. LeBron took that to heart, not as motivation, as religion. He built his entire post-championship mindset around the idea that satisfaction is the enemy of greatness. People ask him all the time, "When will you be satisfied? When will it be enough?" And his answer is always the same. Never, because the moment I'm satisfied, I'm retired. That's not arrogance. That's drive. That's understanding that the difference between 4 championships and 0 championships is the refusal to let up even for a second. But here's where it gets deeper. Dynasty isn't just about winning multiple times. It's about changing how the game is played. LeBron didn't just want to win championships. He wanted to redefine what a basketball player could be. Point guard size, power forward strength, guard skills. He wanted to be positionless, unguardable, a problem that defenses couldn't solve. So while other players his age were simplifying their game, becoming specialists, LeBron was expanding his. At 32, he developed a better post game. At 34, he improved his three-point shooting. At 36, he became a better passer. Most players decline after 30. LeBron evolved, because that's what Dynasty mindset demands. Constant evolution, constant improvement, never accepting that this is as good as it gets. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is the type of content that YouTube doesn't always promote, so I need you to tell the algorithm that you want more of this. Now, let's talk about what happened when LeBron's body started betraying his mind. December 2018, Christmas Day. LeBron pulls up for a layup and feels something pop in his groin. He immediately grabs his leg. The pain is instant, sharp, undeniable. For the first time in 13 years, LeBron James is seriously injured. The streak is over. And for a man whose entire identity is built on discipline and availability, this is more than a physical injury. It's an existential crisis. The doctor tells him 6 to 8 weeks. LeBron hears 6 to 8 days. Because in his mind, his body doesn't get to quit. His body doesn't get to tell him no. He spent 2 decades training it, controlling it, optimizing it. And now it's broken. The frustration is visceral. His wife, Savannah, later said that those first few days after the injury were the darkest she'd ever seen him. He didn't know who he was if he wasn't on that court. But here's where discipline transforms into something else. Here's where drive becomes dynasty. Most players would take the injury as an excuse, a reason to rest, a justification for not being the same. LeBron took it as a challenge. If his legs couldn't do the work, his mind would. If his body couldn't be on the court, his preparation would be even more intense. He turned his rehab into a science experiment. Hired 3 different physical therapists with 3 different approaches. Studied recovery methods from soccer players in Europe, rugby players in New Zealand, Olympic athletes in every discipline. He became obsessed with understanding not just how to heal, but how to heal better, how to come back stronger than before the injury. His team called it the Rebuild Protocol. 8 hours a day of rehab, not basketball training, pure body reconstruction, stretching, strengthening, mobility work, ice baths, heat therapy, electrical stimulation, acupuncture, things most NBA players would never do, things that sound more like torture than recovery. But LeBron approached it with the same intensity he approached championship games. There's a video from his private training facility during this time. You can see him doing single-leg squats, face grimacing in pain, but never stopping. His trainer in the background saying, "You can stop, man. This is enough." And LeBron, through gritted teeth, "Enough is when I say it's enough." That's not stubbornness. That's understanding that your body's limits are suggestions, not rules. 6 weeks later, he's back on the court. Not just back, better. His movement is more fluid. His explosion is actually improved. He'd used the injury to correct mechanical issues he'd been dealing with for years. Turned a setback into an upgrade. That's dynasty thinking. That's refusing to let circumstances dictate outcomes. Drop a comment. Have you ever turned a setback into a comeback? I want to hear your story. Because this isn't just about LeBron. This is about all of us learning how to bounce back stronger. The injury taught LeBron something crucial. The body might break, but the mind never has to. And that lesson would become critical for what came next. It's 2023. LeBron James is 38 years old. In NBA years, that's ancient. Most players his age are retired. The ones still playing are coming off the bench, playing 15 minutes a game, accepting their diminished role. LeBron, he just broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record. He's averaging 30 points per game. He's playing 37 minutes a night. He's not declining. He's defying reality. Scientists are studying him. Literally. Sports researchers at multiple universities are trying to understand how his body is doing what it's doing. Dr. Marcus Elliott, who works with elite athletes, said in an interview, "LeBron's biological age is closer to 28 than 38. We've never seen anything like it. It's not genetics. It's not luck. It's intentional, systematic, relentless body maintenance." Let's break down what that actually means. The average NBA player retires at 34. Their knees are shot. Their back is gone. Their body has absorbed 15 years of punishment and is screaming for mercy. LeBron is 38 and moves like he's 28. Why? Because he's treated his body like a billion-dollar asset. Because he's invested more in his physical maintenance than most people invest in their houses. But here's the thing that's even crazier. It's not just his body that's aging in reverse. It's his game. Most players become predictable as they age. They rely on what worked before. They stop evolving. LeBron at 38 has more moves than LeBron at 28. His basketball IQ is so high now that he's literally seeing plays 3 steps ahead of everyone else. Teammates say playing with him is like having a coach on the floor. There's this moment in a game against the Warriors in 2023. Steph Curry brings the ball up. LeBron is guarding someone else, but he yells out the entire Warriors play before it happens. Screen right, Clay to the corner, Steph back cut. And it happens exactly like he said. Curry just laughs and shakes his head. That's not luck. That's 20 years of studying film. That's discipline compounding into genius. People always ask him, "When will you retire?" And his answer makes people uncomfortable. "When I'm not the best player on my team." Think about that. At 38, surrounded by players in their 20s, he still genuinely believes he should be the best player. That's not arrogance. That's the refusal to accept age as an excuse. That's drive that doesn't understand the concept of past your prime. If you're still watching, hit that like button. It helps more than you know. And subscribe, because we're about to talk about what LeBron does off the court that might be even more impressive than what he does on it. Let's talk about something people don't discuss enough: LeBron's business empire. Because Dynasty isn't just about sports. It's about building something that lasts beyond the game. And LeBron understood this before anyone else. LeBron is 18 years old, just drafted into the NBA. Nike offers him $90 million over 7 years. Biggest rookie deal in history. Everyone says take it. His agent says take it. It's generational wealth. But LeBron says no. He wants equity. He wants ownership. He wants a partnership, not a paycheck. Nike laughs. Then they see he's serious. They give him a lifetime deal worth over $1 billion with equity stakes. At 18 years old, he outnegotiated $1 trillion company. That's not basketball skill. That's vision. That's understanding that the real wealth isn't in your salary. It's in ownership. It's in building assets that generate money while you sleep. And from that moment, LeBron approached business with the same discipline he approached basketball. Spring Hill Company, his media production company, created it before players having media companies was cool. Now it's worth hundreds of millions, producing movies, documentaries, shows. Blaze Pizza. He invested early, turned a small stake into tens of millions. Liverpool FC. Bought a stake in the soccer club, watched it appreciate massively. Real estate across 3 states. Minority ownership in the Boston Red Sox. Fenway Sports Group. The man is building an empire. But here's what's wild. He runs his business meetings like practice. Same intensity, same preparation, same discipline. His business partners say meetings with LeBron are intense. He's read every document. He knows every number. He asks questions that reveal he understands the business better than some of the executives. This isn't a hobby. This is dynasty building in a different arena. And the preparation for business meetings is absurd. He'll spend hours the night before studying, reading contracts, understanding market trends, calling experts. His business manager once said, LeBron prepares for a business pitch the way he prepares for the NBA Finals. There's no half speed with him. Everything gets full intensity. There's this story about when he was negotiating his media deal. The executives came in thinking they were dealing with an athlete who just signed whatever. 2 hours later, they walked out exhausted. LeBron had dissected their offer, found 3 problems, presented alternative structures, and negotiated terms that even their own lawyers were impressed by. One exec said, "We got outworked by a basketball player." It was humbling. Comment below. Are you building something beyond your day job? What's your side empire? Let's inspire each other. Now let's talk about what keeps LeBron going when the wins aren't enough. Here's a question. What drives a man who's already achieved everything? 4 championships, all-time scoring leader, billionaire, global icon. What gets LeBron out of bed at 4 a.m. when he could sleep until noon for the rest of his life? The answer is more complex than you think. It's not money. He's got more than he could spend in 10 lifetimes. It's not fame. He's been famous since he was 16. It's not championships. He's got 4. So what is it? The answer, according to those closest to him, is something deeper, something darker, something that can't be satisfied. His childhood friend, Maverick Carter, explained it in an interview. LeBron is still trying to prove something to that 10-year-old kid who didn't have a stable home, who moved 12 times in 3 years, who didn't know if there'd be food tomorrow. That kid is still inside him, still hungry, still fighting for security that can never be guaranteed. That's the thing about drive that people don't understand. It's not always healthy. It's not always balanced. Sometimes drive is trauma transformed into fuel. Sometimes it's pain converted into purpose. LeBron's relentless pursuit of greatness isn't just about basketball. It's about never being vulnerable again. It's about building a life so secure that the chaos of his childhood can never touch his children. He's talked about this in rare, vulnerable moments. I play for my kids, so they never know what instability feels like. So they never wonder where their next meal comes from. So they grow up with a dad who's present, who's there, who's stable. Every game, every practice, every business deal is about building a fortress around his family that can never be breached. But there's another layer. LeBron is competing with ghosts. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, the legends who came before. He said it himself. I want to be remembered as the greatest who ever played. That's not ego. That's clarity. He knows exactly what he's chasing. And he knows that greatness isn't just about being good. It's about being undeniable. It's about forcing everyone, even the haters, to acknowledge what you've accomplished. And the haters fuel him. Every criticism, every "he's not Jordan," every "he'll never be the greatest," every doubt becomes gasoline. His trainer said, LeBron keeps a folder on his phone of negative comments. Before big games, he reads them, gets mad, then goes out and destroys people. That's understanding how to use negative energy as fuel. That's emotional alchemy. But here's the most powerful thing. At this stage in his career, he's not chasing greatness for himself anymore. He's chasing it to prove what's possible. To show every kid from difficult circumstances that your beginning doesn't determine your ending. To demonstrate that with enough discipline, drive, and relentless work, you can rewrite your entire story. Smash that subscribe button if this resonates, because we're not done yet. We're about to talk about the one challenge LeBron can't overcome. Time. The undefeated champion. The one opponent that beats everyone eventually. And LeBron James, for all his discipline, drive, and determination, knows it's coming for him too. The question isn't if he'll lose to time, it's how he'll fight it on the way down. LeBron is 39 years old. His body is starting to whisper what it'll eventually scream. Recovery takes a little longer. Mornings are a little stiffer. The explosive first step is still there, but it's 0.2 seconds slower. To anyone else, he's still superhuman. But LeBron measures himself against his own peak, and he knows the decline is starting. Here's what most people don't understand about elite athletes. They don't gradually accept retirement. They fight it with everything they have. Every morning that's harder to get out of bed. Every injury that takes longer to heal. Every young player who's a step quicker. It's not just physical, it's emotional warfare. His son Bronny is now in the NBA. They played together. First father-son duo in NBA history. It should be this beautiful, full-circle moment, and it is. But it's also a mirror LeBron has to look at every day. A reminder that the next generation is here, that his time is limited, that eventually he has to pass the torch. But here's where LeBron's discipline creates a different kind of ending. He's not going out broken. He's not going out injured. He's not going out limping off the court while fans pity him. He's going out on his terms. Still effective, still valuable, still proving that age is just a number until it absolutely isn't. The preparation for this phase of his career is different. It's not about being the best anymore. It's about being smart, picking his spots, playing 35 minutes instead of 40, taking games off to rest. It kills him. Every fiber of his being wants to play every game, every minute. But his mind overrides his ego. Because playing 3 more years smart is better than playing 1 more year stupid. There's this interview where a reporter asks him about retirement. Do you think about it? LeBron's face goes serious. Every day. But thinking about it and accepting it are 2 different things. I think about it because I'm a planner. But I don't accept it because acceptance is surrender. And I don't know how to surrender. That's the tragedy and beauty of champions. They can't let go, even when they should, even when their body is begging them to stop. even when the world is ready for them to retire. They hold on, not because they don't know when to quit, but because quitting means admitting that the thing they've dedicated their entire life to is over. LeBron's legacy is already secure. He's already one of the greatest ever. But he doesn't care about secure. He cares about more. One more season, one more game, one more moment to prove he's still got it. Because that's what drive does. It doesn't let you rest. It doesn't let you be satisfied. It pushes until there's nothing left to push. Comment your thoughts. When is the right time for a legend to retire? Before the decline, or fighting till the end? This is the debate that defines every great career. Now, let's talk about the final chapter. The legacy that lasts forever. So here we are. The end of the story. Except it's not the end. Because Dynasty doesn't end when you stop playing. It ends when people stop talking about what you did. And people will be talking about LeBron James for generations. Think about what he's actually accomplished. It's not just the championships. It's not just the records. It's the complete reimagining of what a basketball player can be. Before LeBron, players were specialists. After LeBron, players are trying to be everything. He didn't just play the game. He changed how the game is played. But the real legacy isn't basketball. It's the blueprint, the discipline, the drive, the refusal to accept limitations. Every 4 a.m. workout, every film session, every healthy meal when he wanted pizza, every business meeting when he wanted to rest, every moment he chose discipline over comfort. That's the legacy. That's what lasts. His kids will remember a dad who showed them that greatness isn't genetic, it's habitual. His teammates will remember a player who led by example, who never asked them to do anything he wasn't willing to do first. His opponents will remember the respect of competing against someone who brought their absolute best every single night. But here's the most powerful thing. Right now, somewhere, there's a 10-year-old kid watching LeBron, watching him outwork everyone at 39, watching him still be great when everyone said he'd be done. And that kid is thinking, if he can do it, maybe I can too. That's Dynasty. That's immortality. Not living forever, but inspiring forever. LeBron's story isn't about basketball. It's about what's possible when you refuse to accept average. When you wake up before everyone else. When you outwork your talent. When you turn discipline into destiny. The court is just where he happens to do it. But the lessons apply everywhere. Business, article, life, family. Whatever you're building, the principles are the same. Show up. Work harder than everyone. Never be satisfied. Evolve constantly. Build something that lasts. As we close this out, I want you to ask yourself something. What's your 4 a.m.? What's the thing you're willing to sacrifice for? What's your dynasty? Because greatness isn't reserved for athletes. It's available to anyone willing to pay the price. The question is, are you willing to pay it? If this story moved you, inspired you, challenged you, do 3 things. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and most importantly, drop a comment telling me what your one takeaway is. What's the one thing you're going to change after hearing this story? Because consuming content is easy. Applying it is where transformation happens. LeBron James, 4 championships, all-time leading scorer, billionaire, icon. But more than all of that, a man who understood that greatness isn't a destination. It's a daily choice. It's 4 a.m. alarms. It's discipline when discipline hurts. It's drive that refuses to quit even when quitting makes sense. It's dynasty built one day, one rep, one choice at a time. The unseen grind behind greatness. Now you've seen it. The question is, what are you going to do with it?